Yeah, so you and I worked remotely on this, which something I do
Yeah.
that pretty often. I don't know if you
Hmm.
mostly self-produced and you mixed a lot of your own stuff too. Like, what was that experience like for you working remotely on this?
It was honestly amazing. I had actually worked remotely for Woe Is Me as
Okay.
well. That was during
Yeah.
COVID. So Scott Mangan, also known as Mildred Moody, mixed that. I didn't self-mix that EP. And then we sent it off to you for mastering. So I was like familiar with that
Mhm.
process. Um, this time I was really relieved that like things were able to keep moving a little bit more than like during the height of COVID last time. Like I literally finished recording like everything for Woe Is Me in like September of 2020, and then I didn't release it until like April 2021. So like that turnaround time for me was just really
Mm.
long because everything was happening through email and like serious stuff was going
Yeah.
on in the world. Um, and it still is. But this time, I think we started. Was it like September? We like actually
I
started. I
don't remember.
think it was like it
Time
was like
time is a
end of
blur.
September. Yeah. But I enjoyed it a lot. Like I think it gives me time to listen to it like again and again in like different environments on like all my different personal listening systems, whether it's like my preferred headphones walking around the street or like, at home on my speakers or wherever, and try it out there and sit on it for a couple of days, especially for like, the first mix, which is always like
Right.
a giant bomb that goes off where I'm just like, I have so many notes, I don't even know like what to do right now. And it's not any offense to like anyone, to you or anyone who like sends a first mix. Is just like we've talked about it, but you realize like, oh wait, I guess it's not that obvious what I'm going for yet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like we have to get like in sync, especially on that first one. So I appreciate having like time to put those things together. I don't know if I might feel like overwhelmed if I was like in the studio with you and we had like 3 hours to do the whole thing. I might be like, oh God, like I
Yeah.
like I don't, I might feel it today, but maybe not, tomorrow, and then we'd have to come back, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't even
that's a great point. It's
yeah.
definitely a bit of a double-edged sword there because I've had this experience working with people or even when people do stuff for me and I'm in the room and you're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, that's good. It's good." And then like you said you go away, you listen some more, fresh set of ears and you're like, "Wait a minute. Oh no." And then you feel kind of bad going back to the person. So that's the one side of it. The other
Yeah.
side of it of course is if you have too much time to listen to it, then you can start to like stop seeing the forest through the trees, right? And you start to get into your
Oh
head a
yeah.
little bit. But I thought you and I found a nice balance. I mean, I thought your notes were constructive and cohesive, and they were clear to me. Like you would describe things, and one of the things I love is that you describe things visually a lot of times. I think at one point you were like, "I want that
Mhm.
second key part to sound like swirling bubbles," and I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I get that. I think I get that. And like movement, and it's got
Yay.
yeah. So it was really cool. I thought I definitely felt working through the revisions process with you, we made the song better,
Oh,
right? So
100%. Like I go back to my demo that I had and I absolutely loved that. I was like, oh God, what if I send it to him and, I don't love it anymore or whatever, which is not about you. It's, it was like my baby.
yeah,
And then
it's
I was like,
scary.
okay, here, have it. Um, but I go back and listen to that demo and I'm just like, oh my God, this is like so weak now, like compared to, what it has become through, your expertise and your work on it. And Nico, who mastered it as well, like it just elevated it so much. To the point where I'm like, I want it like this professional every time. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
cool.
And yeah, and like I um I mixed a lot of stuff like on my own in the past. I think because I had like kind of those trust issues
Yeah.
with like sending it to people, and it takes time. I feel like to find people that I vibe with in like each part of my
Mm.
career. But yeah, I just felt like so supported, and like I was really excited by like every time I gave notes, like that you really took it and, executed it so beautifully. And I was like, oh, that's like what I wanted to hear. Or then like if I gave a terrible note, I was like, oh, my bad.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I mean, like I said, kudos to you for first of all being willing to go through it with somebody else, because I know that that can be a scary thing when you've written, especially with you. You're saying on this song you were really focused on starting with the sounds, so you already had these sounds that spoke to you and that you liked. Now we're kind of massaging them a little bit. But I do think this is one of the cool things about it's one of the things I love about working on music is collaborating with people and like taking things that you could never do alone, and like together you can do really cool things. And like to some extent,
Mhm.
like the more people you add in, the better it gets, because like you and I worked on the mix together, it came out great, we were both happy. We sent it to Nico, it was like, oh, it's another person, he's coming in cold, and like he made it even a little bit better, and it was like cool, now the three of us have really got something here. So that was exciting for me as well.
Yeah, and I love that I went like from me in New York to you in Philly or Connecticut, I guess, and then like all the way to London and then back. Like I loved that
Yeah.
trajectory. And actually, the funny thing is that like I originally wrote the lyric, like the chorus lyric. It was like January 2019. I was in Houston. I was about to go study abroad in London. I studied Shakespeare over there for 4 months, and like I wrote that lyric about being excited about like going to London.
Oh wow.
And then so it was just like ironic to me that it got like mastered in London. So I loved that.
Yeah, yeah, how cool, very cool. Well, what are you up to with your music career once the song hits the airwaves? What are you gonna do?
Hey, I'm so excited. So for this song, I want to go all out. Like I want to do a big, big music video
Nice.
where it's like a Mardi Gras themed masquerade ball. I'm thinking about this one place that I found in Bushwick that's like this very kind of underground um, theater club space. Um, and I was there for like a independent movie shoot
Mhm.
for a movie called Thruple. And I had never been in there, and there was just like there's like a stage, there's all sorts of like random sculptures and like rainbow art and
Oh
just
wow.
really weird alternative stuff in there, just like hanging from the walls. And you just get the sense that like no one's been in here in a long time. And I need to like reach out to them and like figure out how we can like shoot it in there because that would just be amazing. So I really want to shoot that like around Mardi Gras time in February. I'm gonna do a photo shoot in the next couple weeks to give like this new aesthetic, and I still need to put together the cover art.
Oh yeah.
So that's like my main thing I need to do before I can like set a release date because I would love to have it come out in like the next month to 2 months. But I gotta get the cover art together, and that's like its own
Right.
whole thing. I got this new outfit, so I'm pretty sure this is what I'm gonna be wearing on the
Love
cover
it.
art. And yeah, I'm working on my album that's gonna go with this song called Queer as Funk. And it's gonna be more of this like retro funky vibe with like 80s throwbackness, but you know, 2020 pop gold. So that's what I'm going for. And like with that title, like Queer as Funk, I want to like reclaim funk like as a genre that like includes queer
Mhm.
people. Because I love like so much like Prince, Michael Jackson, Rick James, like Stevie Wonder, that whole era, James Brown. Um, but then like sometimes when you listen to the lyrics and stuff, it's like kind of from this like very um, straight male perspective, and I want to bring like a modern like 2020s queer positive like perspective to it. So
Very cool.
yeah,
All right. Well, listen, you're a man of many talents, and
thank
I
you.
don't know how you find time for all this stuff, but I just love the energy and charisma that you bring to your music. And I think, having worked on some of your other stuff, I love your trajectory as a producer. I think the stuff you've been doing lately is some of the best stuff you've done, which is great to see. And I'm very excited for this song to be released and to see whatever it is you decide to do next, because I'm sure it's going to be fun and genuine, which it always is. So where can people find you, and maybe pitch the Golden Hour a little bit if you want to?
Oh yeah, you can find me on all platforms at Woe Is Me. So it's spelled a little Louisiana Creole like, so it's WEAUX is me. And then my website is woeisme.com. I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, all of those streaming platforms as Woe. And the Golden Hour is a monthly variety show that I host at the Broadway Comedy Club, first Sunday of every month. Next one's in February. And it's a space for the freshest musicians, comedians, drag artists, burlesque, people to come together and just be artists together, live in our purpose for at least 5 minutes on that stage, and just share some positivity and fun in a really just fun atmosphere.
Awesome.
So,
well, that's great. And yeah, keep an eye open for Serious Delirious. I guess we'll put the date once we have the date. And yeah, really looking forward to it. And yeah, that's all I got. You got anything else we should cover?
Anyway,
just any other notes? Anything else that we missed that you wanted to hit on?
No, I just wanted to say, any other artists out there, definitely think about Vadim at Comfrog Recording for all your mixing and mastering needs. It's absolutely amazing, super professional. On top of it, I feel so supported. He's truly amazing.
Thank you,
so
Will. That means a lot. That really means a lot. I appreciate that, and look forward to doing more in the future.
Yay!
'Cause things are about to get serious.